everyone. So I just finished filming this one. It's up on the channel if you want to go check it out. And this one from before. Also 2 really great free tutorials you can learn right here on my YouTube channel. I'm Jacqueline Jax for those of you who don't know me, and there is a group page, Watercolor for Beginners, that I have over on Facebook if you want to come join it. I'll link it in the description box below. I'm also a teacher, so if you want to learn beginning watercolor, I have classes for you at jacquelinejax.com. Okay, so let's see. The next one that you guys picked that you wanted me to record for the YouTube channel is another beautiful flower that is really unique. I think it's really unique. And it's very colorful, and I think you guys made a really good choice. So here's the one. Some of you said you think it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's really not that difficult. It's actually really fun to do. So I think for this one, I'm going to use my Escoda Versatile size 10 brush. I love this brush. As you know, it's one of my favorite brushes. I don't think my camera will zoom in. I don't know. It looks like it's zooming, but it's really not. In any case, this one is linked up below. It's one of my favorites. I think it's amazing. If you have, if you only have like a quill, that will work. Any of these rounds will work too. Probably not a flat brush. It would be a little more difficult, but anything with a point and a nice belly to hold the paint is going to be for this. And for colors, I mean, we have so many choices, right? Let's just pull some cool colors that work together. And when I say they work together, honestly, like, let's just go back to the basics on this and like not choose a green. Let's make the green. So I'm just going to go with like either a lemon or cad yellow. So I've got that right here. Just get a lemon yellow and just clean that off. There we go. We're going to get a blue, and I really love to use Prussian blue, but also if you want like a really vibrant, Helio Cerulean is a great blue to use. So maybe I'll put my Prussian away for now. Prussian would give us a little more dirty kind of response, right? But the Cerulean is really cool. Helio Cerulean is a beautiful color. It's a very, very bright color. So if you want a really bright flower, that's a good color to use. So we've got Helio Cerulean. This is Schminke, by the way, my 48 box set that I just love so much. It's right over there. It's got like every color in it and just lasts forever. And I have these granulating colors that I actually made this little palette to fit in there, because it comes with this, but if you take this out and put it on your desk, and then you have all this extra room to put more colors in it. Like, I need that, right? Okay, so I have a blue, I have a yellow, and that of course will make green. So now let's like think about like a pink or a red or a purple, but we can probably, I don't know, if we want a convenience purple, we could use manganese violet. I like this magenta. I tend to use magenta a lot because I just love the way it is, but I also like carmine is a great one you can use if you have madder red or a scarlet red. Scarlet red's going to pull a little more orange. I like to pull a little more pink in these things. And then of course like transparent orange would be fun. A cad red would be fun. We can always add those in and just see where it takes us. But for right now, let's add that. And I think I'll just keep like maybe cad red or transparent orange on the side so that I just have it. And that is actually in this tray. What's this doing here? I don't even know why that's there. Okay, so this is my cad red. I think cad red would be kind of fun, like a convenience color. Just as I go along here, I can never get these out. My nails are not long enough. There we go. Okay. So we know our brush. We know our colors. Oof. This is like the time when it's really hard to pick. I even want like green gold. I just want everything out. We just bring it all. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to do this. I always like to show you a couple of ways. So I'll do one way, and then if you stick to the end, I'll show you an alternative way on my video. Let's just start with like something fun that you guys probably will love to do. So I'm going to take this little palette here, and I'm just going to put in some yellow, and bam, let's just start flicking it all over our page. And I'm just going to roll. And when I roll, I just really want to get like the base of my flower and some little areas here randomly that landed on my page. Now I've got to wipe up everything because I literally flicked it all over the glass ahead of me, and it'll be harder to clean later. There we go. That's hysterical. Can't help myself. Got it on my fireplace. I have to clean the glass in the fireplace now because I keep flicking paint. Okay, so yellow is really cool, right? Because it's so brilliant and it's so beautiful that it makes just a great start to anything. So I just went ahead and, you know, just rolled and flicked, and I'm just kind of like adding some darker yellow here just for fun. Now, if I add pink to it, then it's going to make orange. So my second compartment, let's get a bunch of pink. Oops. And wet my brush really well. Let's try and not like flick it. And I'm just going to flick some. I'm doing the flick method because I feel like you guys, being probably beginners, will really enjoy the way it mixes and just how fun that is, you know? So if I want a little more, you know, like you can pick it up and more. And then I can even roll through some. And here's at this point, I can start to lay down some shapes with my brush. Picking and choosing though, because, you know, I don't want to cover all the yellow, and I want to leave some room for other colors to mingle, but for right now, let's stick there, okay? I'll just do some little lines over there. I'm going to rinse my brush out, and next I'm going to get my angle difference so that you can see maybe a little better. Next, I'm going to add the blue. So this blue is crazy. It literally will take over your entire painting. So if I add it to the yellow, it's going to give me that really, really bright, beautiful green. So why not just go ahead and start building that stalk and giving it a little blue down here. Rinsing my brush out. Doing two little strikes like that just gives me what I need for that little petal area. And I think I'm just going to do two down there and keep it really, really nice and loose, and just kind of, we'll see if we add any more colors to that. So here I've got my pink mixing with my blue, and that makes that beautiful purple color. So I can literally roll a little bit into the flower. Now remember, when it mixes with yellow, it's going to change. It's going to be a little more neutral. So if you really want the brightness, maybe wait till the yellow, like either put it over where the purple is or wait till the yellow dries, you know. I I mean, in the original one, I don't really care. I kind of like some of the tones to kind of mix because otherwise you could end up with a flower that looks quite bright, which is never a bad thing. I never think it is anyway. And as I go along, I'm adding a little more blue to it to make it, to get a little different thing. And I'm just kind of tapping it in there, which is really fun. Leaving these combinations because as these combinations unfold, they're kind of like really neat, Taking some blue through here, taking some blue through here, a little more. Let's mix in, get it a little more teal color by taking some of that bright green and mixing it along. And we're gonna just kind of do these little strikes here just for fun, just like a little pattern. Rinse the brush out, kind of dab it on a paper towel, and maybe like do some more lighter streaks. And because I have mostly just water on my brush and I'm dabbing it, I'm actually dragging through the colors that's already there just to kind of mess it up and pull some interesting little like strike shapes out because I want this to be a very, very loose looking flower. And that's a great way to get like some really cool looking things. Now over here, now I'm going to stand back and kind of look at my flower and think, okay, what else do I really want to do this? Do I want to leave it and let it evolve? Do I want to add some more color? In the other one, my example, I had a little deeper tones in the center. So if I just like kind of add a little bit of blue and let that bleed, that's going to get me there. Not too much, just sit back and watch it because it's going to do a lot, especially on 100% cotton paper. It's going to keep working. I add a little pink to it, then it's going to bleed. Let me keep it going there. That's really pretty. I actually really love the way that looks. So I've got a little bit of my neutral there, and then I've got the pink. And if you put it in a spot that you feel like, oh, I don't really like that, you can always move it around with your finger a little bit, and let it but I'm just going to let it work and see what it does. I've already got this really cool yellow. If I start adding a fourth color, what happens is it's going to combine with these other colors. So I want to add it a little bit light at first, and probably just in areas where it can play with the yellow, because otherwise it could pull, like if you mix too many colors together, sometimes we already know that if we mix the magenta and the yellow together, it's going to give you an orange. Now I'm adding a cad red, which is more of kind of an orange tone. I just really like the brightness of it. So I'm just kind of going in here and touching it into some of these little areas that I did those really, really light tips with the tip of my brush. And by doing that, I'm able to kind of brighten things up just a bit in some areas just by enhancing it with a little bit of that cad red. Isn't that beautiful? It's so pretty. So now, just for fun, I'm going to dip this in the water and I'm going to splatter some of these oranges around. I like the splatter coming this way actually because I feel like, it's really beautiful that way. Like I don't know, it just kind of gives the flower some motion. Now this flower has this big piece of blue here now that's kind of standing out a lot. So let's make it a little more purple just by adding a little bit of pink to it. This is where the color wheel really works out. And the more water I add, the more it kind of explodes and chases forward, and that's fine. I like that. But if you want to stop it, you can take a drier brush and you can actually start to pull it back. So I just wanted to show you how you can start to pull it back a little bit. And then you can go back in with the dominant color that you want. A little water. And I'm just going to drop in some of that color there. Good. And I like that orange. A little color there. Now we've got a nice little explosion going, and it's very pretty. So the orange is looking a little bit like it wants to take over, so I'm just going to break it up a little bit with a clean brush. And I can actually go in and dab a little bit of yellow in there. Let's get this wet. But you know, you'll watch carefully, because there will be a point at which your colors will lose the transparency and start to look a little muddy. When you start to see that happen, stop right there. Don't add more layers, because you're not going to be really happy with it. It's going to get too muddy. So now one little thing I want is I want just a few little splatters. And I know the original didn't really have a lot of splatters, but I just really like where this is going, and I wanted some kind of more dramatic things. And there we go. So that's my first one. And wasn't that fun to do? It was really fun, right? Yeah, really fun. Okay, so now that you stuck around with me this long, I am actually going to do a second one as I put some music on for you guys to enjoy. And you can just kind of watch me play as I roll my brush around. Let's see, we're going to put this right there for a second version of this. I think it's going to be really fun. You're going to love it. Okay, I'm going to put some music on for you and enjoy, guys. Okay, so which one did you like better? They're both really fun to do and really easy to do. Surprisingly easy, right? All right, let me know in the comments which one you like better, number 1 or number 2. And if you try this yourself, don't forget to go share it on Facebook on the group page. All right, guys, I hope you had a really good time. Thanks for joining me.